jewelry does not become powerful only because it shines. A necklace can be beautiful, a bangle can feel heavy, a pattern can look perfect, but before it reaches a buyer, it must answer a harder question. Can it be trusted? Weight is the first proof. Inspection asks what the eye cannot see. A scanner checks what beauty cannot prove. Then comes the smallest action in the process, a tiny mark placed on a tiny area of gold. The mark is small, but the promise behind it is huge. This is how India turns beautiful gold jewelry into trusted value. Every gold country turns gold into a different kind of power. Australia turned rock into mining power. Japan turned discarded machines into recoverable value. But in India, gold enters a more personal system. It becomes jewelry, savings, tradition, and a promise between seller and buyer. That promise cannot depend only on shine. Behind the retail counter, the ornament moves into a controlled trust route. Weighing, inspection, scanning, hallmark preparation, and verification. In India, gold power is not only about how much gold exists, it is about whether people can trust the gold placed in their hands. This is the raw source of India's gold trust system. Not rock from a mine, not electronic waste, not a finished promise. It begins as unverified jewelry, bangles, chains, rings, pendants, and ornaments that may already look beautiful. But beauty is not the same as trust. Each piece must be separated, handled, inspected, weighed, and connected to a verification route before it can move forward. A chain is checked at the clasp. A ring is turned under a magnifier. A bangle is weighed on a professional scale. And if something is not ready, it is sent back for recheck. Nothing becomes trusted just because it shines. Before hallmarking begins, the system must turn jewelry into a measured, controlled, unbroken path toward proof. Once the jewelry enters the trust route, the question changes. It is no longer, does it look beautiful? It becomes, can the system prove what this object is? The ornament is weighed again. Its surface is inspected under light. Its structure is checked by hand. Then the scanner examines what the eye cannot confirm. But the system does not accept every piece automatically. If a surface is not ready, if a clasp needs review, if a mark position is not clean enough, the jewelry is sent back. This is where trust begins to separate itself from appearance. A beautiful ornament can move forward only when the route allows it to move forward. In India's gold system, trust is not decoration. Trust is a process. Area, the jewelry becomes more refined, but not more trusted yet. A surface is polished, a clasp is checked. A bangle is held inside a support jig. The weight is confirmed again. The route record is matched again. Every step prepares the ornament for the proof that will come later. This is important because hallmarking cannot be treated like decoration. The mark has to land on the right area, at the right angle, with the jewelry held steady enough to make the proof visible. If the surface is not ready, the ornament goes back. If the position is wrong, the system stops. If the machine is not aligned, the mark should not be made. The jewelry may already look finished, but the system is asking a deeper question. Is it ready to carry trust? So the machine is calibrated, the mark position is checked, the magnifier waits for the output, and the ornament enters the final queue. Beauty is prepared here, but trust is not created until proof appears. This is the moment when trust becomes visible. The hallmarking machine does not make the jewelry more beautiful. It gives the system a proof point. A tiny mark is placed on a tiny area of gold. It may be almost invisible to the buyer, but inside the trust system, that mark changes everything. The ornament is not finished just because the mark exists. The mark must be inspected. The piece is weighed again. It is scanned again. The root is recorded again. If the mark is unclear, the jewelry does not move forward. It goes back for recheck. That is what separates trust from decoration. One ornament enters the machine as beautiful gold. It leaves the proof line as jewelry the system can stand behind. In India, the power of gold is not only in the metal. It is in the mark that gives people a reason to trust it. After hallmarking, the jewelry does not simply go back to the counter. It moves through custody. The tray is checked. The seal is tested. The ornament passes one more scanner before it reaches the retail side. This part is quieter than the marking machine, but it matters just as much, because proof can lose power if the handoff is not controlled. At the counter, the buyer sees more than a beautiful ornament. The worker shows the mark area. The piece is weighed again. The proof follows the jewelry into the final moment. This is where trust becomes personal. The buyer is not only receiving gold, the buyer is receiving a reason to believe the gold. This is the payoff of India's gold trust system. Not a vault, not a pile of gold, not jewelry trusted only because it shines. A finished ornament has been weighed, inspected, scanned, marked, checked again, and handed to the buyer with proof behind it. In India, gold is not only worn, it is trusted. The power is not just in the metal, it is in the system that gives people confidence when gold changes hands. Australia showed mining scale. Japan showed recovery precision. India shows how gold becomes social trust. But in the next country, trust goes even deeper, into assay verification, and the question of how the world decides what gold really is.